Have a little look-see. We'll take a drink and step outside. The one who cried. Vessel removals. Well, at the moment, pretty much as you expect it to be. Nice colour, nice purple, nice shade. So I will leave this here. It points up while I'm getting ready. It'll just be about a few minutes. It points upwards. But I still hear the traffic going by, so. Again, that one that went by, looking up, just paying too much attention. Whoa. Neck it down, nearly dropped it. I did drop it. It slipped. Right, gonna. Again, temporarily distracted, but a car goes by, and the head actually looks backwards, cranes up, you know. Paying way too much attention. For people that don't believe in coincidences, synchronicities, any strange occurrences, they're certainly watchful, aren't they? It's the egos, the narcissist watchfulness, isn't it? When you well, at a certain age, might even not even know about the term narcissist, borderline, whatever. But as people describe, narcissistic personality disorder, borderline. As your standard psychiatrist described them, and as I've experienced them myself, some of them, the watchfulness, you know. The intense attention, as well as defensiveness and watchfulness. The fact that this is the same, it's all based on fear. Behind all the bravado, arrogance, and you know, the facile smirks and all the rest of it, and the system it's based on, you know, from Agenda 21 trickle downwards to whole thing. It's all based on fear. But again, the pathology, the psychopathology behind it underlies it. Yeah, this manic watchfulness. I mean, for me, it's you know, it's went from. I say it's very significant, you know, almost destiny in a sense, not malignant destiny, but that's how they would like to have it, and have everybody see it for themselves through this targeting. But you know, the fact that my mother was like this, and you know, most people are like this in different forms, and you know, right up through this or that relationship, and basically the control freaks. Like this idiot. Different kinds of control freaks. You know, there's variations in personality, and some are more outgoing, some are histrionic, and some are reserved, intellectual, whatever. The histrionic ones can be brain boxes as well. Clever cunts, however you want to describe them, because it's all cleverness, isn't it? It's all the cleverness is the ego. Of the ego as any sane person knows. Anybody that knows what true intelligence is. Intelligence isn't cleverness. Not the same thing. These people are actually, this is stupidity itself. Defeating aspect of the whole thing, mainly because it's based on the destructiveness of the ego mind, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, it's like rising through the ranks in a sense, and of course these narcissists have always had the little tricks, always identifying with figures of authority, cops and medical profession, doctors, and just whatever, And within the system, they use them as their bully boys, whether that's in a personal relationship with these people or the same mentality that's in libraries, and not them all, but just some of them, And that bureaucratic mind, however petty, however basically lowly or it's the same mindset all over. You find it at charity shops and the way they behave. This holier than thou. And ready to pounce on the phone, right, at the least opportunity. Any sense of you being a hooligan, an attitude, a troublemaker, or you look like a shoplifter, or I don't know, whatever. But libraries, charity shops, whatever, they behave as if they wrote the books themselves. Books was generally all I would go to charity shops for. Not so much nowadays. Get all manner of things. So I haven't been for a while. But yeah. And of course, as you grow up, the complete lack of awareness of this whole system behind the system, if you like. People talk about shadow government and all the things that you never knew. You become gradually aware of fascism and bad things that happen in the world, whatever. And but you didn't realise that there's that's all part of these fact that all these people have done is they've got organised. The narcissists are organised. They've always been sort of, control freaks. They're little autistic kids, in the sense that they want to control everything all around them in the world, and they're fascinated by gadgets, So of course they're the ones that'll utilise the technology. They just identify with the technology, thinging them at everybody else through technology. Whether it's a simple bike or just constant thinging, all the different means to rivet themselves into the reality of the world, through anchoring, because they're anchoring themselves, they're riveting themselves as well, but all in their mind. It all just takes place in the mind and in their own minds as well, and of course the targets as well that'll see this as real and go along, get sucked into it and get angry and and project their own mistakes back to them, basically just reinforcing their projections, their illusions, whatever. And of course this idea that this anchoring the corners and stuff, that constant intersections, intersecting and intersections and junctions, whatever. I don't drive, whatever you want to call them, traffic lights. But now any openings, depending on what level intensity they want to. For me, it's street to street, it's opening to opening, moment to moment. Often enough, it's unbelievable. That's why it's good to get so much on camera, even though it amounts to hours and hours, and who's going to troll through it? Like I say, I don't know, maybe a university study in future years, anything, But at the moment, it's just unbelievable. In a sense, it's kind of what I wanted. I really do want to expose it. There's certain provocations on my part, in a sense. I have them exactly, exactly right where they want me, and they've really went for it, hook, line, and sinker, because that's what they do, don't they? They just they're about squashing people, just squashing people underfoot, trampling them underfoot, Show any retaliation, and you don't die, you bastard. You don't, you don't become as demoralised, as depressed, as this, as that, as they want you to be. You just seem to be coasting right along to a certain extent, and slipping up here and there. Mistakes are going to be made. It's going to work. From their point of view, they see it as fail-safe, unstoppable, and they just increase it. Just keep throwing this. Just keep at him. Just wear him down. He's only human. Because it never really occurs to them that to think like us, in any sense. All predicated on the belief that how they see how they treat other people has absolutely no bearing on how their perception of themselves. And of course, the whole thing is just one big psyops, one big intended perception distortion. Just distort your whole environment. Just keep around the target all the time. Just do all this street theatre and stuff, and basically brainwash them, condition them, sensitise them, and basically alter their perception of their everyday reality, which clearly isn't working. I mean, to me, it's like they're about at the end of their tether. To the extent they're piling this stuff on. That's clearly what they've been told, isn't it? It's their handlers. Just throw virtually everything at this guy. Apart from the electromagnetic shite, I assume, because he's too small for it. He isn't worth it. We'll get him through this. We'll just keep it local, and nobody else need to know about it. Nobody will ever find out about this. Nobody will ever believe him. It's just another lone nut that eventually snaps. Just the insanity of this situation. Insanity. You're supposed to be crazy, or they're trying to drive you crazy, or whatever the reasons are, and they throw everything at you. Moment in, moment out. Every minute, day in, day out, weekend, month in, month out. You get this 100, 200, 300, 400 incidents, whatever. And during any period during this time, in the day or at the end of the day or whatever, they'll throw somebody vulnerable in front of you, some smart-ass fucking old person. They've told them that they've nothing to worry about. We've covered you. We got you covered. We know you wouldn't do anything anyway. He knows what would happen. So I am sane. I am all right then. So which is it? You're trying to drive me crazy and sort of drive me, targets up the wall, over the edge, whatever. At the same time as you believe you can actually calculate their reactions. I suppose me filming the whole thing didn't and uploading them onto YouTube didn't really come into that calculation. But of course they're trying to cover that, so setups and of course in general, cops and Department of Homeland Security and all the rest, treating anybody with a camera, vidcam as suspicious, which is virtually impossible, but they'll try and do it in certain contexts, and they've got the thing, anti-terrorism thing, indications, terrorism indications, people taking notes, video cameras, people backtracking, going back the way they came, and however you want to describe it. You know, all these various things that might actually be very useful for being targeted. Yeah. So, well, just simply point a camera at them. If I can see it, and it's put, you know, and I will have to see it for to take effect. I will actually have to do it, and they do. Other people can see it as well. Whatever the reasons are, whatever they think the reasons are, they can figure it out for themselves. They can state it for themselves. It doesn't seem to be happening. Well, they've certainly got their ways and means by the guilt through insinuation and what's the word? Guilt by insinuation and association, of course. Mind went blank. Yeah, so they certainly work on that. So it's all circular in that sense. This is the problem. It's all circular. It all comes back to them. They're the problem. Well, the problem is never you. Yeah, well, I know it's a projection, but this is the mentality and the mindset. Is the cause of all the grief in the world that there ever was and never will be. That's my point. But I better get moving before it's dark. But anyway, yeah. My main emphasis was it's like a gradual awakening in another sense, you know, to the fact that this system has, like it's always been here in one form or another, various forms in different countries, of course. You know, what with the Stasi and whatever, the red shirts or other stuff, you know, brown shirts, and just the various forms it's been in. Apparently, since the beginning of the 20th century, but as Margaret said, in different forms before that, probably during Roman times and spy networks and all this stuff, you know. Making all these nobodies feel important, these mediocrities, then it's a world based on projections, so I mean people jump at the chance seeing their belief in their own sin and other people, project onto other people. They love that. We live for that. The ego lives for that, and we're identified with the ego, so and as somebody said, the ego gets everybody. That's the ludicrousness of the whole thing. They're as destructive to themselves, yeah. I mean, we all know that people know now that the government is, the whole thing is just collapsing, yeah. The American Empire might take longer, but people know it's all crap, it's all collapsing. I've said that for years, it's all just going to sink under its own dead weight, yeah. These people going nowhere. And their friendships, their relationships are a joke because they've no conception of special relationships, the underlying hatred, underlying special love and hate relationships. This is based on A Course in Miracles. I've studied it on and off for the past, since 1990. There's also Ken Carey's Third Millennium, as I've mentioned before, from 1991, and somebody's posting this on YouTube now, posting videos and doing a sort of one of these semi-electronic voiceover things, readings, but it isn't too bad. It's all right. And the book itself is The Third Millennium, Ken Carey. It's incredible. Still incredible stuff. And the fact that some people still believe this awakening is going to happen, you know, including Ike, of course. And he goes into tremendous lengths, really epic lengths. It's a really epic presentation. His Wembley thing. I don't know. I'd really like to go. I mean, it's historical. I've seen Ike before. I saw him here in Edinburgh, in George Street, back in the mid '90s. He spoke for 3 hours with a break, and that seemed epic as well. I don't know. There's maybe I don't know how many people was there. A couple hundred, 200 or 300, maybe a bit more, maybe 400. But he certainly wasn't huge or anything. I stumbled on Ike in early. I certainly heard about him in 1990, 91, but I wasn't paying any attention. I didn't know who he was. And then I stumbled across his early books, Heal the World, and his autobiography and stuff. Bought these, It's obvious in Heal the World that he hadn't quite found his feet. It's a short book, and he was talking about the people that he kind of trashes now. The Galactics and Child Messages and Blavatsky and certainly there's a connection with Blavatsky and all this stuff. The Great White Brotherhood. And so I think this is why you got the early videos of people talking about Ike's early roots, whereas I think he was just sort of finding his feet like most of us, but regardless of his great experience and mystical revelation and stuff. I think that's really just a matter about being open. I mean, apart from the messages you got, but so they seem to be quite general. But he just seems to be. I mean, it's really a matter of open-mindedness. It isn't just like direct messages or you've got some sort of direct knowledge. It's a matter of not being the sort of person like most people that say, "Well, that's rubbish," or I'm an atheist because it's obvious. Blah 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 blah. They just they know it all. They already know. So they don't have to check this or or read this or that. I can't look into this. They know already. So. The parameters of their interests, culturally, psychologically, are pretty limited, and they just cut out certain things. Whereas a more open-minded person, as somebody said, as we know, they know they don't know. That's the difference. As soon as you think you know, you don't know because you've shut off any openness to any kind of other input or information. Anybody with any kind of real intelligence knows that. They're just, or as somebody else said, the more you find out, the more you realise you don't bloody know anything. That's a nice guy, isn't it? So you're open to things. You're constantly learning, growing. And this is another thing about these people is. This system, this multi-stalking, these narcissists, borderlines, the worlders, the physicalists, whatever we want to call it, as Herr Goldberg described back in 1974, along with George Bach, his book Creative Aggression. He describes them as the nice people. He doesn't actually use any standard psychiatric terms like narcissism in that book, at least. And I came across it when I was 27. And that was really the nail in the coffin for the involvement I was in with this chronic bloody narcissist. So I wasn't until a few years later till I came across that actual term when I was involved with another one, out of the frying pan into the fire sort of thing. So it was really the new male-female relationship held by Herr Goldberg that the year before, I thought it was actually written later in 86, that was maybe written in 85 and I came across it in 86. And that was the end of that situation for me, as I said, the final nail in the coffin. But I've lost track here. But the fact that Goldberg, in the book, the earlier book, Creative Aggression from 74, as he said, calls them the nice people, quote unquote nice people, the passive aggressors, the sneaky aggressors. And it's a real revelation to me. Just all these different, the occasional reinforcer and just a whole bunch of stuff. It was in different contexts. It was just great book. For basic information on the psychology of these people. Outside of this whole quote-unquote gang-stalking network, CIA no-touch torture program, whatever you want to call it. It's name of the article on Deborah Dupre's site by the ex-FBI agent. Probably Ted Gunderson, is it, or is it somebody else? Probably is Ted Gunderson, yeah, I'm sure it is, yeah. And the fact that Goldberg describes that these people don't grow. However he put it. These folks, these people, the nice people, the nice people, they don't grow emotionally. They're emotionally flat. They stay the same. This is how this just keeps going around and around. You know, because they're all different ages. You know, more and more recruited, and the younger ones recruited. And it's all big, clever, and new to them. You know, they're, whoa, this is great. I'm untouchable. And it's got the bad guys and blah, blah, blah. So it just goes round and round. And if this system has been going on, and it's got, you know, as it is going on and on, then this just carries on from year to year, decade to decade. It can in a target's life, because these people don't grow from generation to generation. They're just sucked into this system, or willingly go along with this system, and it just appeals to their the ego. You know, just projection is the name of the game. You know. So you got this whole circular situation with these people that are emotionally flat. You know, the narcissists, the quote-unquote nice people, basically liars, imposters. You know, right up to the complete psychos, you know, the 1%, the less than 1%, and the cultists, though it's all cult, you know, actual Satanists and child sacrificers, and right up to the interdimensional influence, if you like, the reptilians, and if you want to be open-minded about that kind of thing. Then I certainly have been interested in that kind of thing for since I was a kid. So yeah, I mean, even without, you know, any belief in Illuminati or you know, the New World Order, or reptilians, or, you know, malevolent interdimensional entities, or, you know, or whatever, the whole thing is still, on a day-to-day level, is still fucking bizarre. It's bizarre. It's like some sort of science fiction story. It's They Live and a Truman Show, and probably a whole bunch of other things all rolled into one, is what I'm saying. You know, even if you just put it down to this communitarian ethos through Agenda 21, you know, the trickle down through in every council and community and all the rest of it. It's fucking bizarre. It's taken me almost half an hour to do this, 28 minutes, so I'm going to stop here, or I'm never going to get out, and I'm bloody hungry. Starving. So I'll just stop this video here and start a new one as soon as we're getting outside. I'm going out and about, got various things to do. Well, it's going to be in darkness again, getting back, same old crap, but it can be absorbing. I'll try and name the streets and stuff where I am, so there's a bit of context, and but there's certainly no free-floating intuitive you know, reveries while you're walking along. What will I do next? Oh, I think I'll just what was that so-and-so says the other day? No, just you're completely locked into this trivial bullshit. That's the essence of these people, triviality. As Goldberg emphasised, basically the whole thing is, you know, there's a trivial element to the whole thing, as well as that it's emotionally lethal. That's what he emphasised. You know, these people are emotionally lethal, and that's what's going on with these people. Apart from as I've mentioned, the attempted murder setups and the constant bikes and built-up areas, is actually, as well as to distract you and intimidate you, and yeah, the reason for that, as I've mentioned, is you know, this how it increases in built-up areas. The perfect cover, of course, the more central we get, is so you walk into bloody traffic. So that it's to disorientate you, obviously. We know it's to disorientate you in the widest sense. You know, disorientate your perceptions about your whole environment, and the Husserlian life world sense, if you like. You know, through street theatre and this shit and all the, you know, all the rest of it. You know, just a constant gaslighting, but. It's much about getting you knocked down. Alright.